Good morning. I just finished up my skincare. I'm going to do my full face with you guys this morning. It's currently 5:52 a.m. on Tuesday the 12th. Tuesday the 12th. I'm drinking some Power Breakfast tea from Stash. It's just a black tea and mate yeba matte mix. I don't know what that stuff is, but I feel like it makes the tea like thicker. It tastes okay. It's not my favorite. I wouldn't repurchase it, but thankfully it came in a sampler pack, and that's the last of it that I have. All right, let's go ahead and prime. For primer, I'm going to go with the Pure 4-in-1 Correcting Primer. Packaging is hollow. It's very nice. And this is for energizing and rescue, which I could use because I'm still getting over my sickness. And last night I went to a Bible class with my cousin in Charlotte. First, I went to her house and we had a whole conversation. Then we went to the Bible class. Then after the Bible class, we ended up getting some food and eating it at her place. And I stayed and ate what I could. It was a lot of food, so I only ate half. And then she did a tarot card reading on me. Tarot or tarot? I always get confused. Then we just talked more. Like, I ended up not getting home until like 11, which is really late for me. Y'all know I go to bed at like 7:30. Try to be asleep by no later than 8:30 on a school night. So I am definitely needing some energy and rescue and some power in my breakfast tea this morning. I'm also going to drink a cup of coffee after I finish this tea, so I really need to like get to gulping. All right, so you're supposed to let this dry down, this primer. It feels really good on the skin, really hydrating, smells good. And Pure is like vegan and all that good stuff. So I really like their products. I'm going to be wearing the same foundations I had on yesterday, which is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear. And I mixed the shade 525, which is deep golden, with the shade 530 deep amber. So I'm just going to shake these up. And I'm going to do 2 pumps of deep golden. And then 2 pumps of deep amber. Hopefully that's enough. I'm going to do 3 pumps of deep amber, which is the darker of the 2. I remember yesterday I kind of ran out of foundation. I didn't get the coverage I wanted. And so to be able to use less powder, and I have a tray that I mix it on and a little spatula. But I remember I kind of ran out of foundation yesterday. Like, I didn't get the coverage I wanted, and I don't like remixing. So I'm going to mix a little bit more today so I don't run into that. And then I won't have to use as much powder to like add the coverage that I want, like pressed skin tone powder. So I'm just going to mix the 2 of these together using the little spatula tool. Literally, I'm just like mixing them together. And I'm going to go in and apply this to my face. At first, I kind of use the tool, and then I just prefer to go in with my hand, to be honest. Just make sure I get it all off. It is very liquidy, so it's really easy to blend and spread, which is one thing I actually really like about this foundation. Yeah, this will be enough today. And I just kind of place it in my problem areas first, and then kind of wherever. And then I'll just kind of take the tray and I kind of slide whatever's left over on the outer parts of my face, because I don't like to waste products. So that's all that's left on the tray, which is not a lot. And I wash it off between uses, wipe my finger off on my makeup sweatpants. And we're going to go ahead and blend this out with a e.l.f. I think this is their perfect face brush or buffing brush, blending brush. This is an e.l.f. brush, and I'm just going to go in and blend this foundation out. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to get the coverage I want today. I could have probably just stopped at the 4 pumps. I think I just did 1 pump of each yesterday, and that's why I was like running a little low when it came to the perimeter. in my face. But today, we've got enough. I already know the eye look I want to do. I'm excited to use some shades I haven't used from the ABH palette that I've been really curious about. And I think that the ColourPop It's My Pleasure palette and the ABH Norvina palette are going to be really complementary of each other and work well together. So that's exciting. My hair did get a little poofy last night from like just the moisture in the air. It was like barely sprinkled. I wouldn't even call that raining. Like it was barely precipitating, but the air had moisture. So my hair did get a little frizzy, a little poofy, but it's not bad. I'm probably just going to wear it down again today and just embrace the poofiness and volume, or maybe re-braid it Wednesday night, because Thursday my cousin invited me to go see a play in Charlotte. She's like, I already bought the tickets, come. And I was like, oh gosh, geez, way to just spring that upon me. She's gonna keep me out late 2 school nights this week, but you know, it's worth it to spend time with family and just get some social interaction. So I'm just taking whatever's on the mixing tray and I just pick up what I can off the brush so we don't waste any product. You can see my skin is super nice and even. And this is looking more glowing than it normally does because I didn't use a mattifying primer. Normally I like to use a mattifying primer, but I don't know, I wanted to try it with a different primer today because I feel like this dries down to like a nice satin, natural, matte kind of finish. The skin looks good. I have the coverage that I want. It's very smooth, very even. I'm just making sure there's no brush strokes, no harsh lines. I think that's just my face. Making sure I get all the areas that I sometimes miss around my nose, under my nose. All right, so the foundation is on. We're gonna go ahead and set it, and I've been loving the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Powder in the shade Honey. I'm so glad I picked up Honey. I'm just gonna clean my sponge, which is the Real Techniques body sponge. It's really big, so it gets the job done really fast. I also feel like the powder looks less dry when I use a damp sponge to apply it. So, ooh, excuse me. So I just clean that using antibacterial bar soap. And I come and I get all the excess water out by squeezing it in a towel. And here's what it looks like. Let me take some sips of tea. I'm like over halfway done. So good. Whew. Yeah, I'm feeling it. The tiredness. All right, so I'm putting a little bit of the powder into the cap. Then I'm just gonna go straight in with the sponge. I like to dip the sponge in and kind of tap off the excess. I'm gonna go in and set my whole like eye region, including the under eye, the lid, and the brow. And I mean, do you see how that just sinks in? It sinks in so nice with the damp sponge, and it just gives such a smooth look. So that's kind of the initial layer. I start with a little bit, and then we can kind of go from there. But I always knock off the excess back into the cap. But notice I'm getting that brow, my lid. I just want to smooth. Look how smooth that looks. That looks so good. This powder is really, really nice. And then I kind of go in a little bit more. I'm going to focus under my eyes to really brighten this area. And I'm getting up next to my nose. I'm kind of just doing this whole cheek area where sometimes I can experience pores if I don't use the necessary powders, like really good powders, or if I don't use a mattifying primer, I notice that that area tends to, throughout the day, my pores kind of can show through. But this powder is really good. And I can tell now that it's not going to look like that because I can tell immediately it already looks different from like when I set my face if the pores are going to show based on the primer that I use in the foundation. But we're good. Do you see how smooth that just blended out? And then with whatever's left over in the cap, which is a very small amount, like you guys can't even see, I'm going to try and get it to come to the center so I don't want to pour out anymore. I try not to overuse powder. On it used to be Beauty Boss Amber, but now it's Amber Patchlock. I think that's how you say it. Patchlock? Patchlock. On her channel, she was talking about how people like overuse concealer and overuse powder and all that. And that's something I've been trying to do less of, is overusing foundation, like putting way too much on. Because I used to be like, and back in the day, I used to use, like when I worked at Sephora, I used to use like 6+ pumps of foundation. There is no reason for that. I did put a little bit more in the cap. Just because I didn't use a mattifying primer. I just want to go with just a little bit more powder than maybe I normally would, just to make sure that this doesn't go anywhere. Also setting the center of my forehead. And I love the tone of this. It looks really good with my undertones, this powder. And just applying with a sponge makes such a difference. And how it like meshes with your skin. I'm kind of setting my typical problem areas. I just want a little bit more to do the bridge of my nose. I don't know if I have enough left in here though to do that. Kind of, barely. We'll work it in. What I got. Yeah, that was good enough. All right, so now that all the powder in the cap has been used up, I literally like go over all the caps so that I don't have a mess. We can move on to my skin tone face powder and a brush. So let me close up my Fenty. And you can still see like the bottom half of my face still looks pretty dewy, but the center of my face is very matte. So let's go on to the Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 360. This has been my go-to as of late for setting the rest of my face. And I'm going to take my Real Techniques Instapot brush. I love this angled brush. You can do so many different things. You can use it for foundation, for powder, but I like it because it fits perfectly into the pan. And I pick up a lot. As you can see, I'm kind of like digging in there. And I'm going to go ahead and press this powder quite heavily over the other parts of my face. Like there's going to be extra powder sitting on top of my face. And then I overlap on the edge of where we applied the Fenty Beauty powder. Essentially, I'm kind of in a way baking the perimeter of my face in a sense because there is going to be excess powder, but I work it in at the end of my powdering process. Also, don't forget to get under here. Under the chin. I'm also going to see me apply this to the sides of my nose. Also do like the bottom / the tip of the nose. And then I go in to the temples, right above my eyebrow, the arch of my eyebrow, the sides, and then I basically do the whole center of my forehead, like all the way down to my brows, because I don't really need my highlight. I don't really need my forehead highlighted because of how big it is. So I don't mind bringing like a slightly deeper powder all the way down here. Because, like I said, I have a very big forehead. We don't need to emphasize her. And now I'm going to go in and kind of buff over my skin with the excess powder because I really did pack it on. I'm sure I got this side blended together. I turned my heat off, but I'm still really hot right now. Like, I don't know what goes on with me in the mornings. I have one dark spot that's still peeking through, but it's totally okay. All right, my face is set. Any excess powder that like falls out, I'll just take a fluffy brush and just kind of pick it up. I just don't like to have mess, so I'll just go in with a fluffy brush and pick it up off the counter. Just literally brush it around my face. All right, so now the base is super smooth. I don't think I want to do any like contouring or bronzer today. We're just gonna do some strobing. So to finish off the skin, I'm gonna go with the Becca Prismatic Purple highlighter. Yesterday I did Wet n Wild. Today I'm doing Becca. So today's a little bit more high end. This is what it looks like. You can kind of see it's almost white looking with that nice purple tint to it. Use the same brush I used yesterday, which is a ABH Cosmetics 140. I need to finish this. And it's really just going to give a nice purple sheen to the skin. I really like applying my highlighters with a more fluffy brush like this because I feel like I can really work it into my skin. Like I'm literally buffing it into the skin and it looks absolutely gorgeous. This is so pretty. Wow, that's so pretty. And like if you look at this and you have dark skin like me, you're probably thinking like, oh, that's gonna look ashy on me. That's gonna be too light. But honestly, I don't feel like this looks ashy at all. I feel like it looks like I have a purple glow. And I think it's beautiful. So just try stuff out. You don't have to buy it, but like try it out in store, like with the tester. Go in one day if you're like interested in like more colorful rainbow highlighters. Go in one day with your base done, like all your makeup done except highlighter, and then just put different colors all over your face and see which ones you like best on your skin tone. Or you can like swatch on your arm and like see how it mixes with your skin tone and your undertone, like how it reflects. That's what I would do a lot. When I worked at Ulta, if something new came out, something caught my eye, I would put it on my arm, like a big portion of my arm, and just wear it throughout my workday. And at the end, see how it looked and how it looked in natural light when I would go on my breaks and things like that. Because I'm not afraid of color at all. I embrace color. I am colored. That's one like thing that a lot of people say is like, if you're colored, you shouldn't be wearing too much color. Like you look crazy in color, but I think it's absolutely beautiful. And these highlighters, just the way they go into the skin, it does not look like I have a streak of purple on my face at all. Like it looks so good. Like they just blend so nice. Also, gonna apply this to the bridge of the nose. But yeah, I really enjoy spending time with my cousin. Like really enjoy spending time with her. But we're both kind of like, I wouldn't say we're introverts, but we both just enjoy being alone and like we just do our own thing and we don't really need to be around people all the time. Like we're cool just chilling at the house. We're homebodies, you know? We're in tune with our home frequencies, as Haas would say and Fran would say. I'm very attuned with my home frequency. I don't know. I just like to rest. I just cherish rest. Like rest is something that is a priority in my life, but I also like feel like I need to be a little bit more social when I have those opportunities presented to me because I never regret it when I do. So, all right, we're done with highlighter. I put on plenty. Didn't even need to take that long. I was just talking and just, yeah. So that's it for skin. So now we move on to brows and then eyeshadow. Ooh, there's something stuck on my face. So for my brows, y'all already know what it is. Wet my retractable eyeliner pencil. This is like a fresh one. It's like my third time using it. Let me finish up this tea and go make my coffee. Let me go turn on my Keurig. get the coffee going so then I can like finish that up. Perfect time. I wanted to be starting my coffee by like 6:15. So we're on track. Be right back. But yeah, my cousin is like really into like Reikis and auras and chakras and like really balancing your energy and like energy healing and spirituality and things of that nature. And I find that really cool because I'm interested in those things, but I've never studied it and I don't know anybody else that I can really learn from other than on the internet, which is not always a reliable source. But I really do believe in the power of like herbal teas. I love herbal teas. I love trying new teas. I love researching different herbal teas. I've been getting into teas from West Africa, you know, from the motherland, from where my ancestors are from and stuff, and the things that they drink and all of that. And I also believe in the power of like essential oils. I'm heavy into essential oils. Like right now, I'm diffusing a mixture of lemon, bergamot, and orange. And I think sweet orange. I'm just like on the citrus blend. I don't know. Citrus really wakes me up. It makes me feel happy. Um, yeah. But I love bergamot. Bergamot is my favorite essential oil. I also like peppermint, eucalyptus, and lemon. And sometimes I mix in a little clary sage and clove. Is that the other one I mix in? Rosemary. Clary sage and rosemary are always like I just a drop of each or 2 drops of each. But I don't like those like on their own. Kind of like them as like a secondary note, like if you're talking about a fragrance. Like the top notes, base notes, secondary notes. Ooh, this brow today is very thin. That's okay though. But yeah, I really do believe in like herbal teas and just like more natural healing things. Like I'm not huge into medicine. I like holistic medicine and things of that nature. I feel like when I have a child, it's going to be more on the holistic side. You know, I already know who I want to deliver my baby if I have a baby. I have a best friend from literally fifth and sixth grade named Chalet that she has her own podcast actually. It's called Pregnant Pause Podcast, and she talks all about motherhood and pregnancy and things of that nature. I even find it relaxing, even though I'm not a mom and I'm not pregnant at all. Nowhere near impossible, immaculate conception. Um, I enjoy listening to her podcast. She has a really soothing voice too. Her voice is really just nice to listen to. So funny because I think of like us being kids, and I remember us having like a conversation about thongs. We were like 14 or something like that. Hilarious. Or maybe we were 12 or 13. I don't know. But like so funny because she had older sisters. I don't. I am the older sister. And so, you know. Oh my gosh, my brows are lopsided. Oh my gosh, no. No. Let's see if I can kind of rescue them. Mostly this one. Okay. But yeah, she just knows so much about it. She's done her research. I think she's going to become a midwife and doula, like licensed and all that. So, and she's just super like into birth work and like wellness for mother. Like, because if the mother's not well, how can you expect her to give and pour into her children, you know? And I love that. I love that emphasis on like, you know, moms need to be okay so they can do their job. And that it's okay to take care of yourself as a mom and that you have to make time for yourself and prioritize yourself. Like that's a part of the message. And that's so important because I feel like a lot of moms feel like they're not being a good mom if they take care of themselves. But it's like you're probably a good mom when you're not taking care of yourself. But if you want to be the best mom, you put yourself first. Put your health, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health first and see how that affects your parenting. Boom, scat, scat. Because I can see that in my own life with my parents, like specifically my dad. My dad was in the army for 27 years. He got deployed to war. He was in war for like over like thousands of days. Like they calculate it all up, like when you do your little military retirement ceremony. Thousands of days he was at war. It adds up to years, the number of days he spent in war. And just our relationship now that he's been retired for like, my dad's just turned 48, for like 5 years, I think he's been retired from the US military. Jeez, time goes by so fast. Our relationship now that he's gotten his necessary surgeries to repair his body physically, that he's able to work less, that he's able to be less stressed financially because of his military retirement, his disability pay and all of that, and just the job that he has now. And him spending time on himself, like having a hobby. He loves shoes. You know, he's a deacon at church and stuff. Because he's taking time to work on himself and like work on his passions, like he loves speaking to youth and stuff at the church. Like he's really into that kind of stuff. And like inspiring young men in the church because, you know, dad doesn't have any sons, but he's passionate about helping create better young men in this world. I'm gonna go ahead and watch this palette as I talk about this. Our relationship has been better since he's been able to spend more time working on himself and helping others than it was when he was in the military and he was always gone and all that, and was just focused on just like being a provider and not focusing on himself at all. So I mean, it really does make a whole lot of sense. Like he's a much better dad now. And he was never a bad dad, like I'm saying, but he's a much better dad now that he takes care of himself and puts himself first and all of that stuff. Like I said, it doesn't make you selfish, but I don't know. She just has really good points. Check her out. Check out that podcast. All right, I need to go do phase 2 of my coffee and then we'll get started on the eyes. But yeah, I think she just has a great message about how prioritizing yourself doesn't always take away from others. You know, really, it enhances you to do more for others. You know, so let's jump into these eyes. So I already know what I want to do. Like I said, we're going to be using the ColourPop It's My Pleasure palette. I have been loving this. I've only used it one day, but I love the look I had yesterday. Got so many compliments. And then we're going to dip into the ABH Norvina palette, which I've used a few times, but there's a shade here I've never used, and that's the shade Soul. And we're going to use that as the transition color today. Should be fun. This is going to be a very fun look. Something new, something I've never done before. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe this brush off. This is one of my favorite blending brushes for the crease. It's a BH Cosmetics, and it's my Ray Ray collaboration brush number 6. Yep, number 6. So I'm going to take this brush, and we're going to take that shade Soul, which is like this bluey purple periwinkle, very unique shade. And we're going to dip into that and see how that comes off on my skin tone. Wow, it's coming out kind of gray, which is kind of cool. I was hoping it would pull a little bit more blue. And kind of like yesterday, I'm going to just start by packing it on. It has a little shimmer to it. It's really pretty though. Wow. I had my meeting with my principal today too. Which I don't know if he's going to call me out for being late yesterday. I was running behind yesterday. I don't plan on running behind today. I should be good. Wow, that's actually going on really, really nice from packing it on. Y'all see that pigmentation? Oh, the shimmer here is really pretty too. That gives it a nice like effect. I'm gonna go ahead and start to blend out the edges just a little bit like this. That's pretty. Ooh, it's gonna be an interesting look. I'm excited. I just want to make sure it's nice and opaque because, like I said, I am cutting the crease. The look today is only going to have probably 2 eyeshadows. This one and then one other one, I think, from the It's My Pleasure palette. So I'm taking the time to really, lay the foundation, I guess you could say. And then this eye, same thing. The shade Soul. First time ever using it. I'm trying to decide, do I want to like actually cut my crease with like a base? Do I have time for that? Kind of not really. It's 625. Yeah, you can see the color a little bit better now that I'm holding up the palette. The tone of it on my skin. It's my skin. I'm so excited about this look today. I haven't been really excited about makeup. Like I go in waves of like just doing a supernatural look for a long time, like when I go to school, and then really wanted to be creative and experiment with color, which I really am passionate about. Like I love color, I love makeup, I love doing fun looks, but it takes time, and I gotta like wake up early and like plan my life. Like, but this week I was like, it's Valentine's week. Let me do some fun purple looks that can kind of be Valentine's Day looks, and just not your traditional pink and red looks that you normally see around this time. This is pretty. And it's also like Black History Month, so I kind of want to show that like Black girls don't need to be afraid of color. Dark skinned people, you can wear color. Just have fun. Makeup should be fun. It shouldn't be stressful. You shouldn't feel judged. You shouldn't feel stifled. You should feel beautiful. Okay. Just want to make sure they're both like equally opaque and intense. Like, yeah, the opacity is consistent between both eyes. Because how opaque it is can also like affect the shade and tone, which I want my eyes to match. All right, I think we're good with step 1. I'm really liking this, and I feel like the shimmer I'm going to put on top is going to be so pretty. All right, so I am going to go ahead and cut my lid. Let me drink some of this coffee, though. We're going to multitask. That shade is stunning. To actually like, what? What did I just say? To actually like cut my crease, I'm gonna use this Luscious Angel Eyes eyeshadow primer base. I've been loving this for my more dramatic looks, or when I'm testing out products that claim that you need to use a base with it. So for me, I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger first. A little bit of this goes a long way, and I'm just going to kind of apply it like so. Like a little bit goes a long way. This thing should last me forever because I don't use it like that. I'm going to apply it to the center of my lid, like so. And then you see how I looked down. I see people do this all the time. I'm not a pro at this, okay? I know that it's a little bit time consuming, but it's not like super time consuming, which is why I feel comfortable doing this right now. Then you look down, like, or open your eyes like all the way so that, like, see how I have kind of hooded eyes? And then you want it to like transfer up so you know how high up you need to go for your cut. How high should you go? How high should you go? And to cut the crease, I like to use like a more concealer-ish looking brush. I just dropped it. Did y'all see that? It's something that's nice and firm and flat. So I'm trying to decide which one I'm going to use. We're going to use this one. Or actually, this one's even better. It's smaller. This is from the same collection, It's My Array and ABH Cosmetics. This is the number 9. It's also great for the inner corner, but we're going to take a little bit more of this base onto the tip of this brush. Ooh, and I need a mirror. And I'm going to just start in the middle. And I'm just going to follow this line and bring it down. And if you have folds and creases in your eye, you're going to have to keep that in mind and kind of adjust for that, which that's me. So kind of annoying to have folds and creases in your eye when you're trying to, you know, be creative and like do like a cut crease, something out of your element. Whoa, that's too much. So I'm going to try and round it out a little bit. There we go. And now I'm going to take my finger and blend it. Blenda, blenda, blenda. See that? Okay, that's enough for this eye. But I'll just smooth it out right at the top. And I'm not going all the way to the outer corner. All right, time for the other eye. Like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Ooh, I just put out way too much product. Whoa, I need that to go back inside of the hole. Okay. I find it best to start where it kind of left off and then bring it down. And then for me, I like to round out the shape more in this area. There we go. There we go. And then go ahead and blend it out and then blend out with the finger. All right, so I'm just checking to make sure that I like the shape of both. This one came out better in my opinion. That's okay though. We're gonna finesse as much as we can without spending an excessive amount of time. Okay, I'm happy with that. And this way, now when I open my eyes or look directly forward, you can see the color still. And I don't have to worry about it transferring up because we let it already do that. That's how we figured out how high we're gonna go. So I have the base down. So we're going into the It's My Pleasure palette. And I'm gonna be taking the shade, my favorite so far that I've used in here, Earth Shine. And I'm gonna apply that to this whole area, basically, Earth Shine. right there in the center. It has blue reflex in it. I feel like it's going to look really complementary to the matte shade that we already put down. I'm going to go ahead and close up this base. It is great. I got it in a BoxyCharm. Something I never knew that I would get use out of, since I'm not really like, you know, a cut crease girl. Like, this ain't my thing, you know. But we're having fun. We're experimenting out of my comfort zone. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe off the brush I used to cut the crease, just so that base doesn't dry into the bristles and make it super duper hard. But this was really good to use because of how small it is. And then we're gonna go in with this Coastal Scents little fluffy brush to start packing this shade on top of this base. Wow. I'm patting it on. Now, getting up close to like the top of the base is kind of difficult. This side is a little bit more dry. It's not as wet, so it's a little bit easier to apply on this eye that I'm working on now, because the base isn't as wet and tacky, but the other eye, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult. Wow, this look is, she's a banger. Wow. The camera is not doing this justice at all. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. The camera is not doing it justice at all. When I kind of move far away, you can kind of see what's happening here, the magic. All right, so now that this eye is pretty decent, I'm gonna go with my finger in the shade and just make sure that I press it over top, just to make sure that all of the base is covered. There's no tacky areas left. And with the very edge of this brush, we're gonna make sure that we get all the way up to that line that we created. Cool. So this eye is like set. I wanted this one to dry a little bit more before I continued on this side. Yeah, this is a lot better now. And it is kind of crumbling out of the pan. That's because I'm like kind of digging into it. To me, that's not really a problem or an issue for concern. All right, so now I'm going in and I'm kind of foiling it onto my lid by like dragging it over what we've already laid down with the brush, since it's all nice and set. I'm getting a little bit of fallout on my face, but it's nothing too crazy or wild. It's nothing I can't fix. Wow, this is stunning. Who thought of this? All right, so one thing I'm noticing is I like the way that this kind of extends past the rest of this part. So I feel like I need to recreate that on this side. And it won't be too hard. It won't like take me too long either, because it's 6:36. Your girl needs to like get going. Since I squeeze out a little bit too much, there's already some excess around the edge. Like, I'm not gonna squeeze any additional product out. Like, there's already some right around the cap or the opening that I can get to just do that really, really quick, because I like the way that looks. We're gonna extend this over a little bit. You see that? Extend it over. I'm gonna wipe this brush off and then use the same brush to apply the shadow directly on top. There we go. That makes a little difference. Yep. So now it's kind of matching. I am in love with this so very much. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe the fallout, the little bit of glitter fallout off my face. with my fluffy powder brush. And now we need to go ahead and figure out what we're going to do to marry all of these shades together. I think I'm going to take a little bit of Do or Dough. I need to use a shade I haven't used yet, but I don't want to go too crazy with the colors. I'm going to use Do or Dough, which I used yesterday on my lid, which is this more mid-tone glittery purple from the It's My Pleasure palette, on my finger, because it's kind of the same tone as the matte shade. I'm just going to, oh, that came off a lot brighter. I forgot how pink it comes off. I'm going to put a little bit of that on the very edge for a little bit of a gradient. Just a little bit, not too much. As you can see, this took a turn. Okay. And now we're going to go back into the ABH palette with the shade Soul. And I'm going to use the brush that comes from the palette in the more flat side. Why am I sweating? Yo, I am like legit sweating. I turned off the heat. And I'm going to pack this over top of this outer edge to blend all that together. You see how that's like just faded into the Soul color? That's what I want. Yes, that is so pretty. Y'all, this is like one of the most beautiful looks I've ever created. And unique. Wow, this is so pretty. So special. Like I've never done anything like this. All right. All right, all right, all right. I'm going to take my little special detail brush. I thought I had some creasage on my lid. I shouldn't. Look how pretty this is, guys. I'm going to take this smaller brush in the shade Soul, which is the matte shade that's in the crease. And I'm going to apply this shade to the lower lash line. All the way from inner to outer corner, because I just want this shade to peek through. It's kind of the feature shade along with the lid. But it's so pretty. And I'm just blending that across my entire lower lash line. This look is so pretty, guys. I feel like a sugar plum fairy princess. Thank you, Norvina. Thank you, ColourPop. These palettes are so complementary of each other. I mean, do you see the way these colors are blending and going together and just looking sickening? Oh, this cut crease actually looks really good too. I'm like, it's not really my thing, but I feel like I did pretty good. Speaking of this cut crease, I am going to take this Soul shade and kind of go along the edge. Even though I kind of already packed it on quite intensely, I'm just going to go along the edge and add a little bit more for contrast reasons. And I'm just blending out the bottom lash line. You can make it as smoky as you want to. I'm kind of going somewhat smoky because I really want it to show through and kind of be a haze of Soul around my entire eye. I'm also kind of bringing that in the inner corner so that it cups around the shimmer on the lid. And that is it for eyeshadow. This look is, this is one of my favorite looks I've ever done. I'm just, it's so pretty. Sorry, I'm like being crazy, but this look is so pretty. I don't want to do any liner because I want to cover it up. Let's take a break to work on the hair. Ooh. I'm just gonna go on with a little bit of my black edge control, which I don't really need it, but just to kind of hide the little bit of makeup and powder that got on my edges. I'm not really trying to control them, more so just cover up the makeup. So I'm gonna pull a bit of that and then brush through with my edge brush lightly. Like I said, it's more so about getting rid of the makeup on the edges of my hair. Got too much, I'm gonna put it back in the container. And here we go again. Okay, like super simple. All right, taking off my scrunchie. I just slipped in a little ponytail. And this is the day 2 hair. You can see it got a little frizzy. It's not as defined, but it still looks really good. This look is so pretty. I cannot. I need to get going. I'll be late again today. And he's gonna be like, what's going on with you in my meeting? Not a good impression. But I haven't been late in a really long time, so give myself kudos. We're doing lash primer. This is the Lancome Sills Booster. And then I'm going in with the Lancome, what's that mascara everybody loves? Monster Big. Because I really want the lashes to pop. And I don't want to do falsies because I'm not a falsies girl. I'm also not a very, very colorful pink cut crease to school kind of girl, but it's fun. I'm enjoying this. Yeah, I put too much of that eyeshadow base on my lid. Like it was too wet. So it's kind of cracking on this eye a little bit, but yeah, this one's good. This one's like kind of cracking. I don't know what to do to fix that. Like I feel like I packed that lid shade on so well though, like it's not gonna go anywhere, but it looks kind of like not creasy, like cracky. Like it's settled into the creases of my lid, but it doesn't look bad from far away. So I think I'll be okay, but I learned my lesson. I definitely will recreate this look in the future for something. So lash primer on upper and lower. We're gonna let it dry all the way. I'm gonna move to the lips. For the lips, we're gonna, what are we gonna do for the lips? I feel like I want a nude lip, but not a dark nude, like a lighter pink nude. I have an idea. And glossy, I feel. I love how clean the skin is with like this very out there eye look. Okay, yeah, we gotta keep it moving. Okay. Luckily, like my school bag is packed. I literally just have to change. I might just brush my teeth at school. I like to always brush my teeth after I drink my coffee because I don't want to be up in kids' faces with coffee breath. Oh, this look. I think, what do I want to wear with this look today? I think I want to wear a gray sweater. I have like a gray sparkly sweater. That'd be pretty. No jewelry. I just want to focus on the makeup. All right, while the primer is dry, let's say we're going to focus on lips, but I'm going to chug this coffee. I'm not going to add anything to my hair. We're going to leave it just like this. I actually really like the way that it looks. Because the ends are still really defined. It's more like this part's not defined, which gives it the volume, which I like. All right, I think I know exactly what I'm going to do for my lips. Coffee is done. So first, also I want to advertise this set because I think it's really nice. So this is from the ColourPop Hidden Agenda set, Lip Trio. It's their Ultra Satin Lip Trio. It comes with 3 shades. One I gave away because it was too light, but I kept the shade Mystic and the shade Stud. But I love this trio. I've been meaning to talk about it, so now I can finally throw that packaging away. I'm going to take the shade Mystic. I'm going to wipe off a lot of it from the applicator. I'm going to use this kind of like a lip liner. As you can see, it's not that hard to do. Okay. And then all right. I look crazy. And then in the center, we're going to go in with a lighter shade, which is called Stud. It's a lighter pink. Now I'm mixing the two together. I really like this lip combo. It's like an ombre pink. It's so pretty. It's not too dark, not too light. And I feel like the pink plays with the pink in the eyes and just is really cute. And then you can put Fenty Gloss Bomb on top. I want just a little bit of gloss. I find that my Gloss Bomb has been like leaking out the sides or something. I don't know. It's getting kind of goopy on the outside. I'm just going to put a little bit in the center. And this is the lip, which I really like with the lip. Yeah, I only put the Gloss Bomb in the center. Also helps prevent it from looking like too goopy. All right, we can go with mascara. I'm like pushing it. 6:52. I gotta go. I gotta go. Girl, gotta go. Again, this is Lancome Monster Big. Yo, I'm sweating. I don't know why. Yes, this lip eye combo, I'm feeling it. Because it kind of brings out that slight pink that transitions back into that soul periwinkle shade. Tell me why the stars do shine. Y'all know that song, Tell Me Why? I'll never forget it because it was on my piano proficiency and I had to take that a few times. So like playing the piano in front of a jury of like 4 professors is very nerve-wracking. And now I like play the piano for the kids. No problem. I'd be messing up and stuff. They don't know. You know, they're not music professors. Oh my gosh. These lashes on this eye always want to give me a problem. Oh, I'm so hot right now. I am literally burning up. Wiping off the excess with the tip because I don't want to mess up the look. I'm going kind of light with the mascara because I don't want to make a mistake, nor do I want to cover up, like make it too thick to where you can't see my lid because that lid color is what's, you know, creating the interest. Like lashes are just kind of an accent and an accessory. Okay. So my lower lashes are cooperating and look great. My upper lashes on one eye are being ridiculously annoying and not great. I'm gonna go with a little bit of this Clinique mascara on top. They're high impact. It's just really black. That's why I like this mascara. Okay, and that's a little bit better. It's very, very black, like it intensifies the lashes quite nicely. All right, that's all the time I have to spend on this. Yeah, that helped. All right, so this is the completed look with hair and makeup. I love it. Let me know what you think. I am now going to rush, get dressed, and leave. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. I hope you have a terrific Tuesday. I'll see y'all tomorrow for another tutorial. Bye.